I'm still getting used to Brady being a Buccaneer. He entered Sunday with a career record of 8-9 against the Broncos, the only team he had a losing record against. Obviously now no longer the case, as Brady was able to extend his personal win streak to 3 against Denver. And so before we talk specifically about him, Rex Ryan, what if I told you, after watching Green Bay play and watching Seattle play and all of this, what if I looked at you and I said the best team in the NFC is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? What would you say?
I would agree with you only because they actually can play defense. Those other teams, like Green Bay, I think will get better as the season goes on. I believe in those guys. But when I see Seattle, when I see, New Orleans, those teams, their defense in Dallas especially, they can't stop anybody. So, I like Todd Bowles. I think he does a great job as a coordinator. And they can rush the passer, and they can create turnovers. So I like Tampa. They're getting better and better and better. By the time the season's over, Greeny, I think they might be the best team in the NFC.
And the news for them off the field, again, continues to be great. New Orleans loses. Atlanta finding ridiculous ways to lose. And we don't expect Carolina to be in the mix. So right now the division feels like it may be Tom's. And let's talk about what his offense looks like, Dan Orlovsky. That offense is starting to look a lot more familiar, I would imagine, to Brady.
Second week in a row that it looks exactly like a lot of the stuff that they did in New England. The ball was coming out of his hands so quickly, and a bunch of different players. Early on, it was Gronk, then it was Chris Godwin, then it was Mike Evans, then it's to the tailbacks. And that's showing me that Bruce Arians is listening. And then they take their strategic shot. Like, Tom Brady's really good at understanding what the defense is giving it to him. And then, okay, now we take our shot. All right, first down, I want to get a completion to Gronk. Let's go some play action. O.J. Howard is a matchup nightmare. How can we get him more involved? Let's give him a chance to go make a play downfield. But it's just the ball coming out of Tom Brady's hands so quickly. Finding those specific matchups and going, all right, with this guy we'll do this, and with this guy we will do that. And Greeny, Rex is right. This defense has had stretches of dominance, and I would also make the same claim that this offense for Tampa Bay has had stretches of dominance. If and when they get consistent, this would become the team to beat in the NFC.
And there's every reason to think they're just going to keep getting better and better. And so, RC, we've talked about, well, where is Breeze now at his age? Where is Rodgers? What are you seeing in Tom Brady right now?
If you really watch Tom Brady, he still has it. TB12 works. I'm going to go eat me some quinoa, get some bananas, or whatever he's doing, because at 43, his arm looks as lively as we've seen it in the last few years. You go back to last week against the Panthers, they were dropping balls all over the field. He hit Scotty Miller deep. That throw to O.J. Howard was in the exact place it needed to be, on a direct line down the sideline. And so when you start to look at this stuff, you look at Tom Brady and you say, okay, we got something. And if we keep getting better with the Rodney Dangerfields of defense, because the last 8 games, they're the best defense in the NFL. So when Rex says, I believe in this team because they can play defense, and when Dan says that they get it together at the same time, it's going to be trouble, I have to agree with both of them.
Listen, no one has gone up against Brady more times than you have, obviously, having coached in the AFC East for so long. What does that offense look like to you now relative to what you've been accustomed to seeing with Brady in his years in New England?
Yeah, it looks like the New England Patriot offense now. So, and it didn't look like that week 1. That was why I was so critical of them. But, man, they've come together. Bruce Arians has swallowed a little of his pride and said, you know what, I want to win. And so let's come together, and I think we see that now. And let's face it, the one thing I don't see that he used to have in New England, he's got a hell of a lot more weapons now.
Yes.
So when you have Mike Evans, you have with Godwin, and now you get Gronk, O.J. Howard, and the running backs, I'm sorry, but this team looks like it could be a complete team. They're not there yet, but I have a funny feeling they're going to get there. You
know what? And coaches, I mean, you give them credit where it's due. Dan Orlovsky, I was critical of this risk-it-biscuit thing. I said that's not what works when you have Tom Brady as your quarterback, and they seem, to some degree, to be getting rid of that.
Absolutely, Greeny. Even go back to last week, Bruce Arians is like, well, we have a ton of receivers. I don't need to throw the ball to tight end. And all of a sudden, again, in the first 3 drives, it's quick out to Gronk, quick shallow cross to Gronk, and it's like, okay, maybe we are learning that we don't need to see players as positions. That's a good matchup. That's a good matchup. That's a good matchup. All those different guys that they have, they can just place in different areas. But the big thing is this, the understanding that, 1, get the ball out of Brady's hands when he's in the shotgun. They're doing that. And then 2, if and when they take their shots, they put Tom under center and they go play action pass. What does that do? That allows you to have 6 or 7 or potentially 8 guys in your protection. So it's a very good crafted plan of understanding who you got at quarterback and receiver and tight end and how to attack defenses.
Super quick, ceiling highest 4. Seattle, Green Bay, Tampa right now.
Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Because they can do it on both sides.
I agree. I think that's the way you look at it right now. Tampa Tom feeling very good. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.